There are some new Sedona luxury real estate challenges. I'm going to tell you all about it. Hi, I'm Chad McMahon. I've lived in Sedona for over 30 years. I've been a Sedona specific realtor for almost 20 years. I specialize in two things. One is luxury real estate. The other is Sedona cash flow investments, such as short-term rentals. So if you're a seller of a luxury property, and by the way, luxury is typically going to be over 2 or 3 million. They're the top 5 to 10% of the homes that are in all of Sedona. If you are a seller, good news, it's a piece of cake. Our marketing package is super aggressive. We only use the top specialists in real estate, so we get the best outcomes possible. We're seeing at or up to about 20% over fair market value for sales, with little to no complications, with little to no risk. Terms are excellent for sellers. If you're a buyer, good news, bad news. You know, the good news is that our strategy is putting a lot of properties in front of buyers that they otherwise would not see. So we are helping our luxury buyers, getting them into great homes. We're figuring it out. The bad news is that there's little inventory. Inventory is way down. We're seeing a larger, more aggressive buyer pool than we've ever seen in Sedona, ever. And our inventory is lower than it's been in over 10 years. So supply and demand. Our supply is very low, demand is extremely high. It's creating some challenges for buyers. So what we're having to do for buyers is we're tapping into two different pools of properties. One is the on market, the MLS market. That's where you're going to see 95% of your buyers. That's the low-hanging fruit right there. We're also tapping into the off market. That's going to be anything from pocket listings, properties that were on market and then for whatever reason were temporarily pulled off, properties that were on market and they were canceled with their realtors, maybe sellers weren't happy, whatever it was. And there's some other examples as well. Sometimes it's going to be for sale by owner properties and on and on and on. Those are all considered the off market, meaning off of the MLS market. It doesn't necessarily mean that they're not for sale, it just means that they're not the low-hanging fruit, which means that with that pool, there's a lot less competition. You're going to get better terms, you're going to get better price, and it's going to be a lot less stressful because you're not going to be going up against 10 or 20 competing offers with escalation clauses and all this mess that we're seeing with the active MLS market. And a lot of buyers would say, well, based on that, Chad, why even go to the low-hanging fruit? Why even go to the MLS market? And the reason is that if you're looking for luxury property, you're going to want something that's really nice, something that's really polished, something that's just beautiful and a really good fit. And typically you can afford to put yourself there. And that's part of what luxury real estate is all about, is getting something that's kind of fulfilling the dream, getting something just absolutely amazing. And a lot of those most polished, most beautiful properties, they're going to be active in the MLS market. That's where most of the properties are. So it's worthwhile to put yourself into that competition just that you can find your dream home. Okay, because that's part of what we're looking to do for you. So you want to look at both. And in 2021, we saw about 40–50%, somewhere around there, of the transactions were in the off-market inventory pool. And then about 50–60% of them were in the on-market pool. So it's significant both ways. You got to look at both. So we can put that in there, and that's going to help you significantly. In 2022, my forecast is actually that off-market opportunity is going to constitute closer to about 60% of the transactions. And that's because the buyer aggression and the size of that buyer pool, it's getting bigger, it's getting stronger. We're seeing that seller's market strengthening as we move on. So it's becoming more important than ever. So that being said, if you need anything further, please reach out to us. Love to meet with you, whether you're a buyer or a seller. Schedule a call, or again, just pick up the phone, call us directly. Look forward to meeting with you. Take care.